Hi, I'm Pete Holloway. I'm a retired financial advisor and a retired certified financial planner. And as always, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to On Money. Today we're going to be talking about entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship, one of my favorite subjects. My guest today is Tara St. Clair, who's the program director for the Encova Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at WVU. She's a Parkersburg native, graduated from Parkersburg South, and has a undergraduate degree in business management from WVU and a master in higher education and administration from WVU. We'll be talking about this later. She started her own company, PostNet, so you are an entrepreneur. And she's been an adjunct professor at Wheeling Jesuit, Wheeling University. 2012, she started at WVU as an office administrator, left, and then returned to WVU in 2018. And I'm looking forward to this talk. It's going to be great.
Well, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it.
Tell us about the John Chambers College of Business.
Yeah, so I am very fortunate that I work for West Virginia University, which, as we all know, is a land-grant institution. So I work in an outreach center. So I serve all 55 counties in the state of West Virginia. Specifically, I work in the John Chambers College of Business and Economics in the Encova Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We are very grateful to John Chambers, who has given and put his name on the building. So we are very happy. He is a big supporter, obviously, of innovation and entrepreneurship.
Well, that's great. Now tell us a little about what it is that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a lot of hats that I wear. As I mentioned, I travel the entire state of West Virginia.
Excuse me, you're headquartered in Morgantown?
In Morgantown, yes. So I work in the John Chambers College of Business and Economics, which the new building is getting ready to open up in August. If anyone would like to stop by and visit, please give me a call. I'd be happy to show you around. But I serve everyone. So from kindergarten to senior level folks, if you are interested in starting or growing your business, I am happy to help you. And we do that in 3 different ways. We have 3 pillars that we really focus on, and that includes education, programming, and consulting.
Okay. Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to start a company that makes widgets.
Okay. So you would you would come to me, and
how do we come to you?
So I believe we're going to put my email address on the screen. So you are welcome to email me, and then we would sit down and have a conversation, and we would say, okay, where are you? How many employees do you have? What does the funding look like? Do you need funding? Do we need to help you find funding?
Who is your right there, because you just said the magic words. I need funding. How much?
Oh yeah, we're on money, right?
How much? Yeah. How much can you help me?
Well, we run competitions and programming where you can earn the funding. Okay. So I'm not going to we do not give out grants, we do not give out money. You have to earn the money. So you can go through the program. So I'm going to guess that you are not in higher education. So if you are not in high school and you are not in college, you are eligible to enter our community business plan competition. So last year we gave away over $100,000 in technical assistance funds. So that means maybe you're opening up your widget business and you're saying, I need a provisional patent. Well, that's, $1,200, but I don't have $1,200. Well, you would pitch to the judges, which the judges included angel investors and venture capitalists, and then the judges decided how much money you would receive based on your pitch. So you might have said, I need $25,000. In that $25,000, I need the provisional patent. I need to travel to this conference. I need to do manufacturing, and you would give that budget and in your business plan to say, here's what I need and here's how I'm justifying what I need.
Now the money they're giving out is money from WVU, but if you're talking to angel investors or venture capitalists, there's also the potential that they might, from their own organization, also fund you if they think it's a good...
Correct. Well, and to be clear, Encova Insurance, I work for the Encova Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, so shout out Encova Insurance. Thank you for funding our center. So Encova Insurance have given a huge portion of those technical assistance funds to support entrepreneurs across the state of West Virginia.
Well, that's amazing. So anyway, we have our conversation, we go through this competition. What other things could I look at you to help with?
So I also work for or support the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So there are many people doing very similar things to what I do. We all have.
Excuse me. What is the
entrepreneurship ecosystem? Yes. So this is a grassroots effort of folks from across the state, including we have 150 organizations. So it's everyone from me to the West Virginia SBDC to the Benedum Foundation. So these are people that have different subject matter expertise that can help entrepreneurs. So if you come to me and you say, I want want to do this widget. Well, I don't do manufacturing, but what I can do is connect you to RCBI down in Huntington, and then those folks can help you. And we work together, the whole ecosystem works together to support these entrepreneurs based on the need, because every entrepreneur is going to have a different need. Maybe you need money, maybe you need manufacturing, maybe you just need some counseling, maybe you need advice. It's really based on your need and you telling me what you want, and that's how I connect you throughout the ecosystem.
When I walk in the door, should I have a business plan, or can I just say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this?
No, it can be very early stage. So we work with everyone from startup to mid-level, but small business, so anyone under 500 folks working for your organization.
Small bit in West Virginia, 500 is that's a big
I know
number.
well.
Okay, so anyway, I've come in with some ideas and so forth. What else would we be talking about, or what else would be going? Will you help?
Well,
will you help me with my business plan?
I will. The question I would ask you is, what problem are you solving, and who are you solving that problem for?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say
come in with those
that
ideas
is that is the number one thing. If you don't know who you're solving your problem for, that's where we really need to start. We've got to start at the beginning. What is that problem, and who are you solving that problem for? That's what we're really going to focus on in the very beginning. And then we can get to manufacturing and we can get to funding later. But we have to have those beginning principles, and we have to understand what that problem is.
Great. Can you give us an idea? You probably want to be discreet about who it is, but maybe a success story?
Oh my gosh, yes, we have so many success stories. I'll just tell you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Please. So you may have heard of Kyle, Gillis, and James. They started Iconic Air, and they were recently, this past year, nominated in Forbes 30 Under 30. So they went through the collegiate business plan competition, and then they went and kind of graduated into Vantage Ventures, which is also out of Morgantown, West Virginia, and funded by the John Chambers College of Business and Economics. And Sarah Biller runs an incredible program over there. So we have really tried to develop this pipeline to support our entrepreneurs and growth. And it has been really wonderful to watch these guys grow and now be in Forbes 30 Under 30. And hey, they're from Wheeling, West Virginia. Kyle is from Wheeling.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kyle Gillis, shout out.
And there we go. What do they do?
Kyle and James with Iconic Air have federal funding that they have received to help start and grow their business, and they've been doing an incredible job, so much so that they have been recognized by Forbes.
That is neat. Maybe one other company that has done pretty well.
Several. Let's go with Augie Chico. So he is from Morgantown, West Virginia, and he has Parthenon Battery Solutions, another one that went through the collegiate business plan competition and is now housed in Vantage Ventures in Morgantown, West Virginia. And I can't stress enough that these guys used every single resource possible. They started at the WVU Launch Lab. They worked through my competition. They used the entrepreneurship ecosystem. They worked with manufacturers all over the state of West Virginia, and they're now housed in Vantage Ventures. So they've had the support. And that's what I really want people to understand is we are here to help you. We are not here to judge. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to fail. It is okay to have ideas that don't work. You go back to the drawing board. Iconic Air actually started out as Iconic EDU. They realized they were not going to make any money with Iconic EDU, and now they have an extremely successful business that they're running, and they have several employees. They have locations all over the country. But they used the resources that were available to them for free. They used the WVU Law Clinic. They used our resources. They used the Launch Lab. And again, they're now in Vantage Ventures. And they listened. You don't have to take every piece of advice that everyone gives you, but it is important to listen to the folks that are giving you that advice right now for free.
And you're pros at it. Now, it sounds like this is WVU-centric, and I think it should be made clear that whether you're going to Alderson Broaddus or Bluefield State, that there's no people that WVU will not have an advantage.
Correct. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to again stress that I work in an outreach center. So I work with all 55 counties from across the state. I feel very fortunate that I get to visit every higher education institution. I work very closely with the Department of Education at the high school level, and I can help anyone. So if anyone in the state, it does not matter your age, if maybe you're in 3rd grade and you want to start a lemonade stand and you need a little support on that, I'm happy to talk to you about that. So I can serve anyone in the state. This is not just just for WU students. This is not for people in Morgantown. This is for everyone in the state of West Virginia.
That's good. Okay, the state, we love our state.
We do.
How do we use what you have going to bring people into the state, people or businesses into the state?
Yeah, we're constantly talking about how do we, the first thing that we have to address is brain drain. How do we keep the good people here? But then the second thing is how do we attract them to the state of West Virginia? And I am a big fan of the Send West Virginia program. Are you familiar with the Send?
I know a Send, but you might explain
Okay,
it.
so Brad Smith gave $25 million and part of...
Who is Brad Smith?
Brad Smith is now the president of Marshall. He was the CEO and chairman of the board of Intuit, which owns QuickBooks. Maybe you've heard of QuickBooks and QuickBase. So he has since retired and now moved into the presidency at Marshall University. He is he is a champion of innovation and entrepreneurship for the state. We are so grateful to have his partnership. Even though he is at Marshall and I am at WVU, that does not matter. We work together. We are partners, and that's what I think that there has been a long-standing maybe perception that we are siloed and we don't work together. That is not true. I work with the folks down in Marshall. Shout out Ben Ing all the time. We are constantly, right now I'm writing the entrepreneurship curriculum for the Department of Education in partnership with the folks at Marshall. So we are constantly working together. We are really focused statewide and helping the people of state of West Virginia. But to get back to Ascend West Virginia, Brad Smith gave $25 million to start this program. And the gist is, I'm not in the Send West Virginia program, but the Send West Virginia program attracts folks to the state of West Virginia. So the incentive is, if you come to the state of West Virginia as a remote worker, you get $12,000. You do have to stay, they commit to, I believe, 2 years. I know in the first year they had 7,500 applicants and they took 50.
Wow, they really got to go.
Right, so we're getting the creme de la creme out here. And those folks are remote workers, but I'm very lucky to work with these guys and say, maybe you want to start a side hustle or your family member wants to start a business, and we want you to do that right here in the state of West Virginia.
And it doesn't have to be high tech. If I wanted to start a plumbing company.
Oh my gosh, we'll get you on, yes, we can help you out. Plumbing company, a lot of folks with artisan backgrounds, so maybe we are going to help you get on Etsy and commercialize something that you've been thinking, or maybe you've been making candles in your spare bedroom for years and you're really good at it, but you've just been giving them away as Christmas gifts and birthday gifts. Well, how can we mass produce those and make you some money while doing that?
Yeah, unfortunately with West Virginia, the coal jobs and around here a lot of the fracking jobs are evaporating or getting taken away, and that would be another source. So if you've got someone who whittles but does a good job or works with wood, as you said, a side hustle.
Right. Well, and the Secretary of State, Mac Warner, has done a great job of supporting those folks that are doing the side hustles. And you'd be surprised at the number of students that are starting side hustles. They're going to school, but on the side, a lot of people are going and kind of buying stuff, fixing it up, and selling it. That is a business. That is their side hustle, or maybe they're mowing lawns or power washing, whatever it is. You can do that. I'm a huge supporter of the side hustle and the second income entrepreneur.
Great. Now, before we started, you mentioned you had your own firm, and it went belly up. Tell us a little about that and what you learned, because I think that's the best kind of education.
Yes, absolutely. I will say I learned more in failure than I have in success. I was very fortunate that I worked with a gentleman that supported the company that we started. It was PostNet, a printing, shipping, and graphic design company. And I came out of school with no experience in printing, shipping, or graphic design. So huge learning curve. But this is just a little story. I showed up the first day. We were in construction of the building, and I was supposed to meet with the contractors. I showed up in high heels, and they said, you can't walk through because you don't have the appropriate shoes on. So just those types of little, no one told me that. I didn't realize. I thought I'm showing up for a business meeting, and the construction guys are like, you don't know what you're doing. And that was a real slap in the face to say, I need to get it together. And it was the toughest 2.5 years of my life. But I learned so much in that time. I learned to think outside of the box, and I just am so grateful for that time. You never know until you try. So if you are thinking about starting a business, there is no shame in failure. There's no shame in trying. And again, if you just want to throw an idea out there, that's okay. I'm happy to listen to that idea. There's no idea is a bad idea.
Yeah, if you don't do it, it's not going to work.
Right, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Now back to some of the training that you do, because that got me thinking in a different direction. Do you help people and looking in the eye of the recruiter, how to handle those kinds of things? Do you do mock interviews with people to get them ready for the Shark Tank?
Oh, with the business plan competition, yes. So we have 3 rounds of the business plan competition, and to be clear, we have a high school business plan competition, a collegiate business plan competition, and a community business plan competition. So the high school students are not necessarily competing against the community folks. There are 3 separate competitions, but they're running simultaneously, and we have 3 rounds. So in round 1, you are submitting a video, and shocker, you are going to tell me what your problem is and who you're solving it for. And then we have a big panel of judges that review all of those videos, and we select the top 10 in each of those 3 competitions to move on to the second round. In the second round, we're using the business model canvas to really dig deep into who is your customer and how do we get to that customer. And then we narrow it down to the top 5 in each of those 3 competitions. And then it turns into the Shark Tank. You are writing your business plan and you are pitching for 5 minutes in front of those panels, that panel of judges, which are the venture capitalists, the angel investors, and just folks from across the state that want to support you. And I think that's the biggest part is we have so many people that are rallying around our entrepreneurs. We want you to start businesses. There are resources, there are people. It's incredible at the competition. It's very fun at the end because we're giving away $100,000, over $100,000 from my center. But the amount of deals that are going on, like the judges that are coming up and saying, I love that idea, let's talk about that more. That is really what warms my heart and makes me so excited and excited for the future of the state.
Well, I'd like to commend those judges too, because obviously they're quite busy and have a lot of other things on their plate, and to do this and to make the state better, I think that
oh my gosh,
really...
Are you familiar with Country Roads Angel Network? Kevin Combs is the helm of that, and he has just been such a great supporter of the business plan competition for years. I mean, the collegiate competition has been around for 16 years, and he has been around since the beginning, as well as the Small Business Development Center. So there are just people that have been supporting these initiatives and watching them grow, and I'm just so proud to work with these people and grateful for their support and their help, because we can't do it alone. West Virginia University cannot do it alone. It takes the partnership of everyone across the state, these resource providers that are in the ecosystem. That circles back to the ecosystem.
That's great. Okay, I often give my guests a magic wand. If you could change things to make it better for the entrepreneur or the business person in the state, and this can be legal, tax, education, attitude, whatever, real quickly, what kinds of things would you do? That are realistic.
Realistic. So something that we can change, something that we can go to the legislature with is better support for our small business owners in the tax world. I think it would be great if we had a fund, a line item fund from the legislature supporting these entrepreneurs. I think a technical assistance fund, there's never enough money to give away. And it's not necessarily to give away. They are earning that money, but I always wish that there was more. So the more support that we could have from the folks of West Virginia, whether that means that you are someone that's maybe you're retiring and you want to give back and you would like to mentor, or maybe you're in the state legislature and you are looking where to allocate funds. Economic development and entrepreneurship are, very sweet spot for me, and I think that is the future for the state of West Virginia. We have to diversify the economy that we have, and for me, that means we have to support those entrepreneurs in starting these small businesses and keeping them here in the state.
Super. Now, compared to some of us, you're relatively young, so where would you like to have your efforts end up in 10 years? What would you like to see going on?
In the state of West Virginia,
yes.
I would like to see, oh my gosh, we're going to be the next Silicon Valley. That is what I see for us. I see us recruiting people in, attracting the best talent from across the country, and them setting up shop right here in the state, paying their taxes in the state, contributing, and I think that is the direction that we're going. I think that people are seeing the beautiful state of West Virginia. Relatively, we have cheap land, we have good people, good-hearted people, and we have folks that truly care about the people that are starting businesses. We want you to succeed. We want you to try. There's, again, no shame in failure. I have failed myself. If you're going to fail, fail fast. But know that there are the folks here that really want to support you in starting your business.
Yeah, locality doesn't matter anymore, as we learned because of COVID and Zoom and so forth. And I mentioned it earlier that I'd rather be in Canaan Valley and have that view than on Wall Street.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what we're hearing from folks, especially from Washington, D.C. We're seeing a lot of people come in from Silicon Valley, from California, and they're going, oh my gosh, it is so cheap here. I don't understand. It's beautiful. I can go rock climbing. I can go whitewater rafting. We have so much to offer here in the state of West Virginia. So if you're thinking about relocating, I couldn't say enough good things about the state. And if you're thinking at all about innovation or entrepreneurship, we're happy to help you.
Well, I want to thank you for this. This was really, some of my interviews aren't that great, but this is really exciting, and I wish you the best of luck and keep up your good work.
Well, I hope you'll have me back.
Oh, I will.
Well, thank you for having me.
Sure.
It's a pleasure.
And I'd like to thank you all. We'll be seeing you next week on Pete Holloway.
I am completing my postmaster's educational leadership certification, and what I like about it was that I could complete it completely online. My classes each week are very structured, so I don't fall behind, yet it is flexible because I can kind of work on my own pace and I can adapt to my schedule. Even though it is online, it's set up so that you can develop personal relationships with your classmates and with the faculty.
I feel that West Liberty is preparing me to be a future leader. One of the requirements in the program is to work closely with a supervisor, and this provides the opportunity for an authentic experience.
I think school leadership development is very important for future leaders so they can get a taste of what they're going to be doing every day and help prepare them for the future.
I feel that this has been one of the most valuable professional developments that I've ever had. I've learned a lot about not only leadership, but about myself. And I feel that it has made me a better teacher.
The collaborative work that I do with Kayla is definitely very valuable. She's been a great help to us here at the school.
Recently, we have been working on scheduling for next year. We have been working on getting the students who require special education services in the right classes, if they need small group instruction or collaborative instruction. We have also worked on school discipline. I recently completed a root cause analysis on discipline referrals and suspensions, and I'm planning on using that for my final capstone project. One of my goals after completion is to someday become an administrator because I want to have an impact on improving organizational outcomes to not only better the school system but the community as well. I hope to someday foster an environment that emphasizes teamwork, innovative thinking, and equal participation to achieve objectives.
I guess if I was saying what my overall goal was, is just to be the best leader that I can be, and I want to inspire and empower others. I want to build collaborative and culturally responsive relationships within my building and throughout the county.